Construct Designing. This platform is for architects, interior designers, and everyone who has interest in construction industry. Yippee! It's Thursday today and a new video. So, guys, today we have a guest who will talk to us about indoor plants and will give us a lot of insights about having indoor plants and all the questions we have about it. So, especially during the lockdown period, we know the importance of having plants indoors. So, he will give you a lot of insights. So, please watch this video till the end. For today's Expert Talk series, let me introduce you to Abhijit. He completed MSc in Physics from Mumbai University. He worked with various MNCs for 13 years and his last job was at TCS as a business analyst. His passion for gardening was so much that he left his corporate job and joined this as a professional career. Gardening was a part of his life since childhood. He saw his grandparents and parents sowing seeds of different vegetables like chilies, brinjals, pumpkins in his front yard. He saw them taking care of the plants and he followed. He fell in love with gardening. Nature taught him a lot of things, and when organic word was not used often, knowing the major damage that chemical fertilizers and pesticides pose to humans and our environment, he started caring for plants using natural and organic methods. Few years ago, a friend of his needed help to set up a small garden, and that is where the journey of organic farm began. He named his new venture as Organic Bagicha. Let's hear from him insights about plants and indoor plants. So let's get started.
Namaste everyone, my name is Abhijit and I'm from Organic Bagicha. I'm a garden creator and I would like to first thank Nidhi from Construct Designing who has invited us on this platform. So today I'm going to give you information about indoor plants. Okay, let's now start with the indoor plant benefits. Now the first important thing that plants give us is oxygen. They absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and oxygen is one of our main lifeline. Now, do you know something about indoor air quality? That indoor air is actually much more polluted than outdoor air, and the reason why indoor air is unclean is majorly contributed to many different factors. Few factors are like the different kind of cleaning agents that are used to clean the house. Then you have paints, furnitures, then nail polish remover, aerosol sprays, textiles. So many of these things actually emit volatile organic compounds. Like for example benzene, formaldehyde, and these are very harmful to human beings. Absorb all these harmful gases and put them back in the soil. So now you can realize how important they are. They clean the indoor air. Indoor air quality improves and that also affects your health. Besides the plants absorbing this, do you know that there are microbes inside the soil that actually absorb all these harmful gases and put that back into the soil as well? Yes, that's true. So that is how this plant and the soil and the microbes, they all together become double effective. Now, gardening can also be treated as a stress-busting therapy. It's a relaxation therapy. When you're around plants, you're surrounded with plants, you get that positive vibrations which help you calm down, and this also brings you close to nature. Now, let me start recommending different type of plants which are easy to take care of. So, here is the first one that I recommend. This is called as money plant or pothos, and you can see I have one money plant here and another one which is towards my left. So you can see that there are different ways you can grow this plant. One is where I've grown this in a pot where it's a bush and it can be kept on a desktop, and another way is keeping this in a hanging arrangement, so you get this really nice style of flowing. So two different styles. You can have another style like climbing on using a moss stick. So this one plant can be styled in different ways, and this makes this plant really special, and it is very easy to grow. And when you see some plant which is very healthy, you will see that it is able to brighten up that area where you have kept this. So this is one of the most recommended plant that I would suggest people to go in for, and it is very easy to take care of. It doesn't really get a lot of pests. It's one of the most strongest plant to actually kill. So you got to be doing really bad if it doesn't do well. Now the next in line plant is the Syngonium. Syngonium, this is the Syngonium pink. Then I'm going to show you another variety of Syngonium, which is smaller leaves, and this is the dark green. And then there's one more, which is a silver green variety, which is this, the big one. Okay, so can you see the leaves? Okay, so you can see that Syngonium offers variety in terms of size, in terms of color, and it's easy to grow. They are not very difficult, they don't require much of care. So that's why I would suggest Syngonium as well. You can keep the smaller ones on desktop and keep the bigger ones for highlighting a particular space, a particular point. So here is the next plant, which is called as Aglaonema. Now Aglaonema, this one is called lipstick because of the presence of this color on the border, which is almost dark pink, and the stems are light pink in color. They offer like beautiful splashes of color. There are different varieties. There is one which has light pink leaves, then there are one which have silver green, and one with dark green leaves. So there are quite few varieties in Aglaonema, and they can add real color to your space. Okay, the next plant is the spider plant. So can you see this nice lovely flow that the spider plant gives, and it can be easily placed on a desktop and it can beautify your tabletop. So there are varieties of spider plant. This variety is actually the one which only has these single blades of leaf coming out. There's another variety that would send offshoot, and you'll have small spider plants around. So this one doesn't send offshoot, and this is very easy to take care of, and it can be very nicely used to decorate your indoor space. Now let's talk about how to take care of these plants. So the first important thing that you need to look at is the light. Now these plants like bright diffuse sunlight. They don't want direct sun. Direct sun will cause burning of the leaves, and you will see the tips and the sides of the leaves burning off and getting brown. The next thing we come up to is watering. All these plants that I have discussed so far, they like moist soil. They don't want soggy soil. Understand that there is a difference between moist and sogginess. Sogginess is overwatering. You will see some water stagnation, and too much of sogginess will lead to rotting of the roots and the stem. And you just want to be ensuring that the soil is moist and water only when the top layer of the soil starts to dry. They would also love some occasional misting of water on the leaves of the plant. The next comes fertilizing. You can fertilize your plants. These are not very heavy fertilizer requiring plants. They can be fertilized once in a month, either by organic liquid fertilizer or using vermicompost. The next comes trimming. So you have to ensure that you keep on trimming any dead leaves, brown stems, dead plant parts, sunken parts of leaves and stems, because this way it will help air circulation around within the plant, and it will reduce instances of diseases. And if you like an expert to help you with maintaining your garden, you can contact Organic Bagicha. We are on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube, Organic Bagicha. We have different plans to help you with your indoor garden maintenance. We have a 3-month, 6-month and a 12-month plan. Now let's talk about a different kind of pest. So these ornamental plants that I talked about, the indoor ornamental plants, they are not very easily affected by pests. All of them are pest resilient. However, at times you might find snails and slugs eating into the leaves of the plant. You will see holes in the plant. For example, I'm going to show you one of them here. Okay, this was a homemade quite some time back. Okay, so you can just pick them off. They usually come out in the night, and you can just take a look at your plant and pick off and just check the back of the leaves. Usually they harbor around that area and then they start eating the leaves. So you can just pick them off manually and throw them. The next thing that could affect is mealybugs. Mealybugs are white powdery growth, and these are very small insects that sucks out the sap of the plant. They would be usually present behind the leaves. So the plants that I have listed so far, they don't really get affected by mealybug. But if you do see some, you can just manually cut off those parts which is infected. Or if you don't want the leaves, these leaves look very pretty, you don't want the leaves to be cut, you can just take a natural soap solution. You can also make a natural soap solution in your house by using soap nuts or soap berry. And it's also called as aretha. All you got to do is just boil them for about 10 minutes in water and keep it steeped for about 8 to 10 hours and strain it, and then you can use that solution diluted with equal amount of water and use a cotton cloth or a cotton swab and use that to clean off the leaves, remove the mealybugs that has come up on your leaves. Or you can use this as a preventive spray. You can just spray once in a month is fine, and that will help keep most of the pests away from these plants. It's one of the best and the easiest and the most natural solution you can use for preventing pests, not just in your indoor plants but also vegetable garden. So we hope that we were able to give you all the details, and this was about indoor plants. There are much more things that Organic Bagicha is into, and if you like us, you can follow us on Instagram. You can also follow us on Facebook, and we are also on YouTube. Thank you.